Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my November TBR. I can't believe it's November. Like, what? The year's ending? It feels like I'm still in the middle of this year. Like, what happened? Probably just me. I'm so stressed about everything. So I'm just like, what? It's November? It's gonna be Thanksgiving soon? And then it's gonna be Christmas? What? Alright. So for the month of November, I actually don't have a specific list of book I want to read, which is good. In case I change this up, I won't really feel bad because I'm not gonna be planning on reading a lot of books this month. Probably just 4 or 5 books, just like the previous month. We'll see. We'll see how it happens. But with holidays coming and stuff going on, it might be busy, might not be. I might have more time to read. We don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Let's get started. So the first book is the one I'm currently reading right now. That is Five Dark Fates by Kendar Blake. I know I'm late in this. This came out in September, but a lot of people wanted to read this, and I don't know, for some reason I forgot to put this on hold in my library, which is weird because for some reason I already thought I had this on hold. Like, what? Anyway, I have this. I'm currently reading it. I haven't been into it a lot. I'm only in page 38, but I'm going at it really fast, actually. I'm really interested to see what happens next. I have not picked this up so far today, and it's already, it's only almost 12, but I have stuff to do. But yeah, I haven't even washed my sheets yet. I need to wash it. Anyway, I'm being talkative. Five Dark Fates by Kendar Blake. This is the 4th and final book in the Three Dark Crowns series. If you guys didn't know about it, we're following a triplet, a set of triplets who are battling to be the queen of Fenburn. And Fenburn has always been ruled by queens, and the queen always gives birth to a set of triplets, and then shortly after that, the queen dies, and then these 3 children grow for the first few years of their life together, and then they separate into their abilities. And so we have Arsino, who grows up as a naturalist. Naturalists are in tune with nature, and so they're known for having animal familiars, and they can grow plants and stuff, and they're just in tune with nature. And then there's an elementalist. Elementalist is Mirabella. And the second one is Mirabella. She's an elementalist, and she can control the weather. She can control the 4 elements: water, fire, air, and so she's known for that. And she is actually known as the strongest sister among the 3. And then we have Catherine, who grows up to be a poisoner. Not much to be said. She grows up to be a poisoner. They're known for being able to concoct different kinds of poisons and are able to reject a lot of poisons that they ingest. And the poisoners have been ruling. Poisoner queens have always been the rulers, or for the past few years they have been the rulers. For the most part, they kind of exchange, different factions kind of exchange, but for the last few queens and years, the poisoners have grown so much in power because the past few years they have won the contest for the queendom. And so here the contest is pretty much killing the other two sisters to get the throne. And that's the main premise of this. They live into the separate secluded island. Not a lot of people can get out to the other parts of the world and stuff. I mean, they can, but they choose to stay in here. They're very isolated. And so that's what we're following in here. And a lot of things have happened, and I really enjoyed the first 2 books, okay? I read the first book. I usually don't read books that they come out, fantasy books, because I forget stuff, and I still do. Even with this series, I still do forget some stuff. But for the most part, I'm able to read the next books without really rereading the past books. The 3rd book, I don't want to talk about it. I really did not like that book. It wasn't bad. It's just that nothing happens. What? That 3rd book isn't even necessary. I thought we only had a trilogy. I think they extended this. They got a deal and extended this to make this a 4-series book. I don't know if that is true, but for the first 2 books, I was like, wait, I thought this was a trilogy. Turns out it was a quartet. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like that 3rd book could have been, included in the previous book or maybe this book. I don't know. I just felt like that third book was not really necessary. This is 440 plus pages. You could have added like 100, 150 more to this and disregarded that third book. I don't know. It's just me. I know a lot of people still love that book, but personally, I didn't think a lot of things happened. I mean, things happened, but like, I didn't think it warranted a whole book. That's just me. But again, I'm very excited to see how the story will end. I'm very much invested into all the sisters, actually. In the beginning, I was leaning more to one sister. By the end of the book, first book, I was like, wait, I don't know who I want to rule. Like, they all have... Can they just rule all together? Maybe that will be a twist in the end. I don't know. But, again, very excited to read this. One of my most anticipated books of the year, too. So, there's that. Alright, another book that I have been anticipating for months. The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. Renee Ahdieh is the author of Wrath and the Dawn. I really enjoyed that book. The Rose and the Dagger, I think that was the second book. And that was another one that I was like, wait, this is not necessary. And I did have problems with Wrath and the Dawn. I wasn't like too into it, but I did love her writing. And like, in terms of her prose, it's so beautiful. So I've been wanting to read books from her. And when I found out that she is going to be releasing a new book, it's going to be a vampire book, I'm just like, yes. Because if you guys didn't know, I love Twilight. I don't know if I'm gonna love Twilight if I reread it again, but I can see why people don't like Twilight. But it was my jam. Okay? I really loved Twilight. And I still really enjoy watching the movies. I have not reread any of the books yet in the past. I want to say 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years, I don't know. But yeah, this is, I don't really know much about it. I know like this is set in 1872. There's like, it's like a hate to love romance kind of thing. They're from different like enemy factions, our main characters. Or maybe she moves she moves to New Orleans, I think, and New Orleans is ruled by the dead. We're following Celine, 17-year-old Celine Rousseau. In New Orleans is a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life as a dressmaker in Paris. Taken in by the Sisters of the Ursuline Convent in the middle of the carnival season, Celine is quickly enraptured by the vibrant city, from its music to its fancy, soirees, and even its danger. She becomes embroiled in the city's glitzy underworld known as La Cour de Leon, after catching the eye of the group's enigmatic leader, Sebastian Saint-Germain. When the body of one of the girls from the convent is found in Sebastian's own lair, the second dead girl to turn up in recent weeks, Celine battles her attraction to Sebastian and suspicions about his guilt, along with the shame of her own horrible secret. After a third murder, New Orleans becomes gripped by the terror of a serial killer on the loose, one who has now set Celine in his sights. As the murderer stalks her, Celine finally takes matters into her own hands, only to find herself caught in the midst of an age-old feud between the darkest creatures of the night, where the price of forbidden love is her life. At once a sultry romance and a decadent thrilling mystery, massive storyteller Renee Ahdieh embarks on her most potent fantasy series ever. So she gets embroiled. Oh, I need to use that word, but I totally forget how to use that word. Embroiled. I don't know. She gets embroiled. She gets into this age-old. She gets into the middle of this age-old feud, and she's attracted to this vampire. And so I'm just really excited. I am so excited. And the premise of her being like having her own secrets and fleeing Paris to go to New Orleans is very interesting to me. So I'm very excited to get into The Beautiful. If I read these two books, I'm fine. But I also have another book that I have heard a lot of good things about, but then I think I heard one person say she heard mixed reviews on this. This is The 10th Girl by Sarah Faring. This is a recent release, and I forgot who talked about this, but according to her, she heard about this at a convention, I think, and the publishers, or like the publicists, really sold her on this. And so I don't really know what this is about. I think it might be like a dorm, how do you say it? God, why can't I talk? I think it might be a like school dorm type of setting, and there's a mystery happening. It's like truly devious, I think. Let me see. Psychological thriller with a haunting twist. I love psychological thrillers, especially if it's a very compelling one. It's a very believable one. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so I really enjoy a really good psychological thriller if it is believable and it's not like based on stuff that is not true. Anyway, at the very southern tip of South America looms an isolated finishing school. There we go, isolated finishing school. Legend has it that the land will curse those who settle there. But for Mavi, a bold Buenos Aires native fleeing the military regime that took her mother, it offers an escape to a new life as a young teacher to the daughters of Argentina's elite. Mavi tries to embrace the strangeness of the imposing house, despite warnings not to roam at night, threats from an enigmatic young man, and rumors from mysterious others. But when students and teachers alike begin to behave as if possessed, the forces hunting this unholy cliff will no longer be ignored, and one of these spirits holds a secret that could unravel Mavi's existence. I mean, it sounds great. It sounds sort of like truly devious, but at the same time, we're following someone who is trying to be a teacher and who is fleeing from the military regime. So that sounds very interesting. Psychological thriller, mystery, isolated house, enigmatic young man. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so the last book that I am planning to read for this month, I would love to read for this month, is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Morena Garcia. I dropped this book twice. Dang it. Look, I completely destroyed that. Like the edges, I don't know if you can see. I dropped it twice while I was walking like the 5 steps from my bookshelf to this chair. Twice. Why am I so clumsy? I hate it. Anyway, I don't really know much about this book. I got this in July for my book of the month, as you can see. But I know that this is a Mayan-inspired fantasy series. It's set in the 1800s, I want to say. Maybe not. Am I wrong? The Mayan god of death sends a young woman on a harrowing, life-changing journey in this dark fairy tale inspired by Mexican folklore. The jazz age is in full swing. I don't know when that is, but Cassiopeia Tan is too busy cleaning the floors of her wealthy grandfather's house to listen to any fast tunes. Nevertheless, she dreams of a life far from her dusty small town in southern Mexico, a life she can call her own. Yet this new life seems as distant as the stars until the day she finds a curious wooden box in her grandfather's room. She opens it and accidentally frees the spirit of the Mayan god of death, who requests for help in recovering his throne from his treacherous brother. Failure will mean Cassiopeia's demise, but success could make her dreams come true. In the company of the strangely alluring god and armed with her wits, Cassiopeia begins an adventure that will take her on a cross-country odyssey from the jungles of Yucatan to the bright lights of Mexico City and deep into the darkness of the Mayan underworld. Ooh, that sounds so interesting. It's kind of like Percy Jackson. You know how the gods are like meddling and they have their own circles and they need the help of like these mere mortals to get them back to their old life of glitz and glamour and being gods. That sounds like it. But yeah, and the cover, the reason why I chose this book for book of the month is partly because of the cover and partly because of the plot, obviously, because gods and people and her freeing this god of death and this god of death enlisting her help to help him banish or like fight his brother. That was very interesting. That's really interesting. So definitely looking forward. A very fantasy filled November month, which is great because I love a good fantasy book. So yeah, that is it for this video. I can't talk. Yeah, I'm very excited because these books are right up my alley. I'm a fantasy reader. These are like mystery fantasies and they just sound really amazing and they sound like an adventure, which I need. So yeah, that is it for this month, for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are also planning to read these books, if you have read these books, tell me what you guys think. And I will see you on my next one. Bye.